Yo, 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 it's your boy Casual with the Silent A podcast. And man, we're back with another one and a quick one at that. Hit that like, comment below, subscribe if you got the time. We appreciate that love. And for this, let's get straight into it because he is not Canelo Alvarez. Yeah, he is not Canelo Alvarez. Direct quote from the likes of actually Mr. Canelo Alvarez himself when asked about Terence Crawford's chances to dethrone him as the 168-pound undisputed champ and make his run for greatness and legacy to, knock off the likes of Mr. Canelo Alvarez himself. His direct quote is saying that he is not Canelo. He has not seen a man of his stature, a man of his skill set. He has not been on this level. He has not been on the Canelo level yet. And on one end, I feel Mr. Canelo Alvarez himself because he's right, actually. Terence Crawford is not Canelo Alvarez, and he has not seen the levels of Canelo Alvarez himself yet, nor fought a style like Mr. Canelo Alvarez. But then on the other end, you got to say to Canelo himself, you are not Terence Crawford, and he has not fought a man like Terence Crawford. Now, you heard what I said, like Terence Crawford. I think he's been on the level, obviously. He's taken on the likes of TBE, Mr. Floyd Money Mayweather. He's fought the likes of, Dimitri Bivol. He's fought Triple G. He's taken on some big names throughout his career, some good fighters, some good competition throughout his career. Some of them you can say what you want to say about him. But all in all, if you look back at the history and look over the resume of Canelo Alvarez, he's taken on some good competition, some solid level of competition. But what he has not done is taken on a style like Terence Crawford. More importantly, I don't think he's taken on a style of fighter that combines the offense and boxing ring IQ and movement of the likes of Terence Crawford. What do I mean by that? I don't think he's fought a man that's going to truly get up in there that's, going to balance well, if that makes sense. He's mostly fought either guys that's been pure offense with little to no defense, or guys that's strictly focused on the defense and forgot about doing some punching. And those guys on that back end obviously have lost 10 for 10. Look at William Skull. Look at Lara. They forgot to do some punching, did a little bit too much movement. They had the right idea. Canelo's feet are slow, but they forgot to do some punching. Then you got the opposite end, what I just said. Too much offense. Triple G. Yes, many argue he won that first fight. Regardless of the fact, the brother lost all three. Did a lot of punching trying to get in there, but forgot about that damn defense. Hami Mangia. Edgar Berlanga. Forgot about defense. Just try to do some punching, trying to overshadow him, trying to walk him down. Wrong plan. Now you got the two guys that did beat him. They were okay balanced, right? You got the likes of Dimitri Bivol. He at least managed proper defense and moving in and out and punched enough to get the victory. Then you had the likes of TBE, Mr. Floyd Money Mayweather, who just gave him a boxing masterclass. And I'm going to focus on that boxing masterclass because it was clear skill set differences and levels, especially at that time, about 10 years ago. So what we're going to get back to Terence Crawford is that balance. TBE himself, he kind of just outboxed him, pointed him, and jabbed him. But you're going to see the likes of Terence Crawford actually try to walk in here and actually do some punching and stay defensively sound. He's going to try to take Canelo Alvarez's head off, even though he knows he's not going to knock him out. But Crawford's not stupid. He's not knocking out Canelo Alvarez. We all know that, right? And if he does, there's going to be some questions. But he's still going to do some ferocious punching. He's still going to walk in there and get active. He's going to let his hands go because that's in his nature. He is a pressure style, offensive style, fan-friendly style offensive fighter. But at the same time, he's well balanced enough to say he's got to stay out of harm's way, stay at the end of that reach, swim without getting wet, move around. Now, the real question is, how successful can he be to the counter punching of the likes of Canelo Alvarez? Can he really get out the trickiness of Canelo? Because Canelo is a high ring IQ fighter himself. But let's get back into it where Canelo hasn't fought a man like Terence Crawford. He's been on a high level, I think, of Crawford. I think he's fought some guys on that level, at least with Floyd and Bivol. I know Crawford's better than Bivol, but I'm going to say level only because of Bivol where he's at in the 175-pound division where they fought at and the advantage that he has with weight, the size and all that good stuff. So he's been on that level, Canelo, at least high pressure, high sense, top tier fighters, pound for pound fighters. And then again, he hasn't fought a man like that can switch his hitting, switch his punching, switch his stance, get active, swim without getting wet, and be defensively sound and balanced. So let's get to the real crux of the question, right? The one that they asked Canelo Alvarez. Yeah, he's not Canelo Alvarez. What's his chances of beating him? He obviously says 0, which he should say. He's a fighter. But on our honest opinion, our breakdowns, we're getting closer to that fight. He stands a damn good chance. He stands at least 40% chance at this point now. It's growing, right? We start at 20%, and then we start watching the training. We're watching how he's been walking around. He's building himself rightly. He's handling the weight right. He's been sitting around at this walk around weight for a long time and getting active, getting comfortable with it, studying tape. He stands a good chance to beat Canelo Alvarez. He's similar in stature. He's already taller and longer. He's got a reach advantage and height advantage. Obviously, the weight advantage isn't there, but you don't need to have the weight. Weight doesn't always win you the fight. Yes, a good big man always beats the smaller good man and sometimes a smaller great man. But in this case, the only thing bigger about Canelo Alvarez is just the weight advantage. See, that bigger man beats the smaller, great man or good man sometimes in boxing. It's all around bigger. You have to have the reach advantage. You have to have the height advantage as well, not just the weight. See, that's the key that everybody's been leaving out, right? Yeah, Canelo's got the power. He's got that pop, right? And we're going to see if Terence Crawford can handle this. If he can handle that pop, handle that pressure, handle his endurance throughout that fight, because he's going to get touched. He's going to get hit, especially if Terence Crawford gets not out of his element, gets into his bag, gets into his element and try to let that offense go too much and try to exchange. We're going to see if he can really handle it or not. But the size difference there isn't that great. Only the dents, only the thickness, only the weight. That's not enough to say this guy's the great big man about to blast out the smaller good man, smaller great man. That argument is out the window, especially when you already lost on reach and height advantage. That's gone. You have to have all three to meet that category. So does he stand a good chance? Yeah, let's keep growing. 40%. He's got a damn good chance. Damn good chance. As long as he stay active and defensively sound, he can do it. The blueprint's already there. Canelo is not unbeatable. Even in this class. Or should I say in this case, moving up 2 weight classes. Yeah, he's moving up 2 weight classes, and normally history would tell you this doesn't fare too well. In fact, no one's really done it in about 100 years, actually. But it doesn't mean that it's impossible, especially with this type of fight in the style matchup that's about to happen. And obviously, the 2 weight class jump hasn't happened that often, right? It's only been a handful of times that men have actually tried to pull this thing off, unsuccessfully, of course. But then again, here we are with a style matchup that's just about right, where 2 men are actually very close in pure attributes. We're going to see how it goes and see how it goes down. But yeah, he's not Canelo Alvarez, and he's right. But then again, Canelo hasn't seen the fire like Terence Crawford, and styles make fights. And we've seen the style that actually gives Canelo trouble. And the good thing about Terence is he's had enough time to study that, understand that. I wouldn't go walking in just believing on that, because Canelo and his camp is smart and will adjust appropriately. They're going to know some things that camp is going to try to do. But at the same time, one of these men has lost already. There's a blueprint out there to beat him. Actually, it's pretty clear. And then on the other end, the other fighter hasn't lost. Technically, there hasn't been a blueprint to beat him yet. Is the blueprint there? We'll see. When asked about who stands the chance of winning this fight, you got to go off a pure skill set, not just the history and style the fighters have seen. Terence Crawford has been in there with some of the good fighters, some of the great fighters at that. I don't ride too high off of just the Errol Spence fight, because who knows what version of Errol Spence was truly left. But you got to look at his history of the fights that he had and fights that he could get, right? Because he was on the wrong side of the street for the long of those years and could just get the fights he could. So people want to ride his resume, but look at the skill set that was presented in those fights. And then look at the skill set that was presented, even in the Madrimov fight. Yeah, he struggled first time moving up 154 pounds, but people want to clown that fight. But that was his first fight, 154 pounds, when you got guys like Jerome Boots Ennis trying to get some warm-ups into that division. He jumped in and took on a champ and still came out with a nice, close decision, but a nice decision victory. Didn't touch the canvas at all, got touched up, and had some ring rust. The skill set is there. Both men are going to give us a damn good display come September 2025. Both stand a good chance to win. Canelo is the favorite, should be the favorite, better be the favorite. But when asked, how does he stand to take on the likes of Canelo Alvarez? What is his chances to win this fight? Meaning Terence Crawford, he stands a good chance. And at this point, I'm giving him about 40%. It keeps growing every day that I keep seeing the work, the tape, the breakdowns. I give him 40%. It's probably where it's going to max out at. But the skill set is there. The ring IQ is there. Blueprint's there. He just got to be sound, defensive responsible, and he can walk out being a legend, walk out being one of the best to ever do it. But anyways, that's our opinion on this. Hit that like button, comment below, subscribe if you got the time, and obviously let us know what you think because we want to hear what you got to say. It's your boy Kaz Rope, Sunday Podcast. Till the next time. Peace.